Hi, hello everyone, and welcome back to Form of Therapy. I am the video channel producer. You can call me PD. I don't like that you're making fun of me. Today we are joined by Umu here from the Reacttothek channel. If you live under a rock and for some reason you don't know who she is, go ahead and check out the Reacttothek channel. Just look up Reacttothek. I'm a video producer. People mistake me for a music producer because people are not smart and they don't understand that the term PD is reserved for video producers. You don't call music producers PDs. Anyways, she is actually related to music and her cast are classical musicians. So if you want actual interesting musical analysis, go ahead and check out her channel. We're going to be listening to the Stray Kids Clay 1 Miroh album live. We have 6 songs to get through. Technically 5 songs. 1 is an intro, and we're going to be skipping Miroh, obviously, because we've already heard it. Just as a disclaimer, if you hear like a pair of violins being murdered in the background, it's because Umu has a roommate who is a violinist. So this is just an entirely musical household. So they are practicing the violin, which to me honestly sounds really dope because I just have like a very horror movie soundtrack going on constantly.
True.
So if anyone is not familiar with Umu, what are your thoughts on Stray Kids? How do you like Stray Kids?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Well, where to start? I like all their title tracks so far. I like their choreography. I am blown away with the rappers. That's what mainly, whenever I think of Stray Kids, I think of Han and Changbin.
You know there are 7 other members, right?
Yeah, yes, and I respect the whole group, but recently, I've just started watching more and more of their variety show and like behind the scenes videos, so I'm, delving into them more and more, and so I am very excited to hear this album because, it's self-produced, and if you like songs by people who have written them before, it's, unless they go in like a totally different direction, like you kind of know you're gonna dig something in a later album, so yeah.
All right. What's your favorite Stray Kids title track, and what's your favorite Stray Kids B-side?
District 9 for title track, B-side Mirror.
Interesting. So you're saying they have not lived up to your expectations since they debuted? Ooh.
Don't put it that way. They have in some sense. Like, if I could choose like a specific part of a song, yes, they haven't let me down. That's what the main thing is.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's find out if they're gonna continue to disappoint Umu in this album. Let's start with the intro for Entrance.
Yes.
Why does it sound like a weird... Okay, never mind.
Now we've
Not
had
anymore.
solid groove.
It sounded like someone was doing like slam beatnik poetry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Interesting transition from what sounded like a more acoustic drum line at the very beginning to now like completely synthetic. An hour and a half through. Half time. All the instrumentals, even the voices, have so much reverb on it, making it just sound like gigantic. We've had like 5 grooves so far, meaning like underlying percussion rhythms. And panning in between earbuds. Minor key. That was fucking lit.
I feel like I'm so appropriately dressed for these drums. It sounds like I should be wearing a turtleneck. You hear it in like, like those jazz lounges with like people doing like like snapping.
Like percussive body percussion.
Yeah, like it sound only like the beginning and the ending part, but I guess it's the added effect to make it feel like that jungle theme, because everyone's saying welcome to the jungle, which I guess is sort of like the theme going in. Do you know what Miroh means?
No.
Okay, so Miroh is Korean for maze.
Okay.
So if you look at the iTunes cover, that's why
it's a maze.
It's a maze. I don't know what Clay 1 means.
Well, someone said it might mean key.
Mm-hmm.
So the key to the maze.
So the key to the maze, and the intro is called entrance.
Oh!
So you're entering
the maze.
the maze. If you look at the structure for the track list, entrance and then maze and then victory song and then maze of memories, which is interesting. It's almost like saying you got out of the maze, and victory song is like celebrating getting out of the maze, and then maze of memories is remembering the maze. I don't know what Boxer and how Boxer and Chronosaurus would fit into it. Yeah. So what do you think?
So it sounds like a very traditional song. I think I saw somewhere that they were inspired by the Maori, rugby chant.
Yes.
And so that's what the percussion, it feels like we don't have any like time signature at all. They're just banging away at drums, and it doesn't feel like you can actually have a groove to it. So it just,
it's very chaotic.
It's
and warlike.
It's as if you are trapped in a maze, and then once we do get a beat going, it's like we're traveling through the maze, and then it changes, the beat, and so we're going somewhere else. But then it ends back in the chaos, meaning we're lost again in the maze. That's what you could interpret it as.
Okay.
But I hella enjoyed that. So many different rhythms, and so the mixing engineer had a lot of fun just panning in between earbuds with both the voices and the synthetic percussion.
They do sound like Congo drums.
It sounds awfully tinny for Congo drums, I feel like.
What's tinny?
Like metal. It sounds like they're banging on metal.
It doesn't sound...
It doesn't
deeper,
sound like animal skin or leather.
Yeah.
Not sure what conga and bongo are made of.
I liked the bass. That opening part was very misleading for me. And then the bass comes in and it has that kind of like dark... Because people are like just shouting city jungle in the chat. And I do kind of get the vibe of like, especially with the whole Miroh music video, it was like a dystopian future type thing. It has that dystopian future sort of aesthetic to it, I can imagine like them walking through like a neo-culture city at night where like there's all these different mishmash of neon signs and different languages, and then this song playing. But let's just jump right into Victory Song then. So we listened to Miroh, so we're going to check out Victory Song.
There's the sirens that we hinted at in Miroh. Again, with very high-pitched, tinny sounds from the percussion. Ascending.
Listen to the Singdong Ga.
Hey, Felix. Oh! 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 Oh!
Listen to this Singdong Ga.
Thought we were gonna go Phrygian for a second.
Listen to the Singdong Ga.
They just cut out all the sound. Oh, he's kind of behind the beat. We have a really eerie voice. Very echoey in the background.
Listen to this.
Yeah. I'm trying to analyze this, but I'm also just kind of enjoying it. really just enjoying it.
Fly high. 누가 나를 막고 감히 날 저그러워 살고 잡아먹는 anaconda 목표를 향해 질.
Is this Hyunjin? He's rapping so low.
원해도 원하면도 나침반이 뭘 뺏겨도 빨래까지 난 어디든지 다 두 자리에만 송이쳐.
Damn, what sets Stray Kids rapping apart from other rappers and, or you know, the rap parts written in other songs is the way that they really just, the instruments and the rapping really interact. They really interact. They really have a conversation.
Listen to this.
One. Oh no. There's on it and 4. 2, 3. Yeah, 3 and, sorry. 3 and there's a bridge where we yeah. Get rid of like the extreme percussion rhythmic parts. Nice harmonies.
Listen to this.
That was different that time, wasn't it? Because they had someone shout "Ah!" or something.
Did you hear that high note from Chisong? Yeah, that. That's what I mean by when I think like he's sort of like the most talented member, is that he's the rapper and he can hit that note. Like not many rappers can do that.
True, and he can rap pretty low too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
he's
like,
so versatile. Like Changbin cannot go as high as Chisong. His voice, not even close, I think. But I think Chisong can't go as close as Changbin, but Chisong can get pretty low. You know what I mean? So
that's also why I like Young K so much, because he can go fucking high and he also can rap pretty low.
Young K has pretty interesting range. I think JYP just does a really great job at picking their musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you go first.
Does the sound of this? It feels weirdly
High pitched.
No, it feels like old mainstream pop music, if that makes sense.
Does it?
It sounds like it belongs on a Tokyo. I mean, not Tokyo. It sounds like it belongs on like a Fast and Furious soundtrack.
I don't know. I kind of see this just as fitting in within the like trap, EDM, hip hop styles that we have going
but
in
I think the melody of the chorus is just.
Whoa.
It sounds. No, not that. The actual.
Da-da.
No, the electronic part, the instrumental.
What?
It sounds like very old school EDM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You've definitely listened to more old school EDM than me,
Yes.
so.
I am older. That is true. Who is Brian?
No.
Yeah, it sounds like old club music. Yeah, it sounds like old club music. It reminds you of like 2014 trap that happens. I think the texture in 17's Bring It is a lot more heavy. Like she said, this one sounds a lot more high. It has like a lot of marching sounds, and I feel like Hoshi most of the time is like pretty low. I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, so for listening to this, I think it might just be your computer into these headphones, but the mixing just sounds like an awful lot of high end, which means it kind of sounds like overall we don't get a bass really that grounds us.
Yes,
instead it's more piercing.
Yes, I don't really feel a bass.
Yes, a rounder sound. So everything's very cutting and very.
I wonder if it is just my computer or if it's the song itself. We're gonna do a test real quick.
Just the mixing.
So we're gonna see if the mixing of the song is meant to be so high or if it's actually gonna.
But I can also talk about the song while you're doing that. Sure. So with this, I think Stray Kids' sound often just relies on rhythmic, fast-paced passages with occasional unison or octaves and melodies, and the melodies seem very, very chanty and easy to sing along with, which we have in this. And then once we reach the bridge is when we have upper, I think, thirds harmonizing the main melody, and we also have a slower, just like a break to ground us before we go back to the very percussive rhythmic parts. Now for this, I feel I could be much more analytical and notice a lot more things, but like the hypeness of that drop just really freaking took over my body, especially since we're listening to this super loud, like super freaking loud. And so I was just like, oh, I gotta dance, and I forgot to like. I have an on and off switch.
Use your intelligent brain.
Yeah, I have an on and off switch for my musician brain, and the off switch went off for like the
so
first half
tell
of
me
the
if this
song.
is what you hear. There's definitely more bass in the chorus. In general, I think it is a song that is much higher than, say, something like the intro, which was very rich.
No. This is much different. Yeah. Even the verses. This is round and this is full. Well, this is very shh. So we aren't hearing it correctly. But I don't think, other than just like having us comment on like how much high end versus low end, I don't think it will influence our listening too much.
Okay, here you go.
Wow, that was amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait to buy this.
Overall, she doesn't use Apple Music, which is
sorry,
tragedy. Overall, I think it's a great hype song. I think if you look at Stray Kids' track record, they don't really have too much party music if you think about it. A lot of their music is pretty damn dark, right? All of the title tracks, besides My Pace, which My Pace is probably their most exciting title track.
You don't get down to District 9?
I can get down to District 9, but it's a dark song. You know what I mean?
As someone who doesn't always read the lyrics every single time she listens to it.
No, even without the lyrics,
Yeah.
in general, it's just like it's a darker mood. Like this is like, I don't know. Like I would not call District 9 a club banger. I would call this one a club banger. You know? In general, it feels like Stray Kids, they have a lot of depth to their music. That's not to say Miroh and this doesn't have depth, but I feel like this is
more, I feel like these two past songs are more targeted towards the party, club.
That's exactly
live
what
concert.
I mean. Yeah, it's a more digestible, mainstream sort of, it feels very like American EDM pop.
Oh, but the rhythms.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of Stray Kids' title track is very quote-unquote K-pop pop, K-pop EDM pop, which is not a bad thing. People see that as an insult, but I feel like Stray Kids, they're one of the groups that make it not an insult, if that makes sense.
It's digestible sound with making it their own by having special lyrics.
Yeah. But I feel like based on IMU, My Pace, District 9, Miroh and Victory Song are coming out to be like, they're very different types of party songs.
Yeah.
Get Cool is not a dark song. Yeah, but Get Cool is also not a club banger. We're talking about party songs right now.
Yeah,
if you think Get Cool is a party song or a club banger, you get down to some weird music.
Yeah, but for this...
Oh my god, how are we forgetting?
What?
So someone said, how about Felix's voice though?
Oh yeah.
I feel like Felix should not be a rapper and he should just be innovative. He should create a new position, like a new type of singer in K-pop where it's just like the speaking role.
Beatboxing. Also, yeah, I feel he'd be like a good like boom.
Yeah, something that like, I don't know, like Felix is sort of like redefining what a rapper is and what a singer is. It's almost like he's just speaking and narrating, but he's
a narrator.
Yeah, but it's not like, it doesn't feel like you're listening to someone narrate.
Musical narration.
Yeah, it perfectly works in tandem with the song. So there is a musical aspect to it. But I don't know, there's something about Felix where I don't want to call him a rapper or a singer. Not because he's not...
ASMR master.
Not because Felix isn't a rapper or he isn't a singer or he's bad at either one. He's good at either one. We've seen him do both positions. But I feel like Felix brings something to the table that kind of the other rappers don't. And I don't know what it is because I don't think anyone can ever really describe it.
Bang Youngkook, he also has a similar very low texture.
He has a very low texture, but I think Jungkook, he's very raspy. It's like,
and then Mingi's is very nasal, and so Felix is just
Felix
round.
is smooth.
Smooth and
He
round.
is smooth. Felix is an ASMR master, as people are saying. That is a correct way to say it. Yeah. There should be just like, maybe like subclasses within rappers where like that Jungkook and Mingi and Felix can kind of go in because they kind of don't fit like traditional rapper frames. I don't know, because like I feel like it's also unfair against other rap. For me, in my opinion, it's unfair to compare Mingi, Jungkook, and Felix against other rappers because they have something that's not just based on skill. There's something that's only natural to them.
Yeah.
It's like it's such a natural talent. It's kind of I automatically think they're better than a lot of other rappers, even if those rappers are like more skilled or whatever, just because they have something that is more natural to them. And I think that's unfair. So they should get like a special classification.
Well, that's just like SATB, soprano, alto, tenor, bass, like voice types. They're just the base of the rappers. Then there's
bass rappers.
Tenor rappers.
But bass rapper sounds
baritone rappers.
Baritone
bass.
rappers. Who's Mingi? You like Felix.
You'll like Mingi.
You'll like Mingi. Let's check out Maze of Memories.
One where Moojin raps.
Oh, and also in context of Miroh, Victory song coming off of Miroh is very interesting. Just like
they're both party, but
they're both very party. Would you say Miroh is more of a hype party song?
Yeah.
Than Maze of Memories?
Yes, because also it does have the more typical structure, and so in order to be a party song, you kind of need the typical structure. You know,
so Victory kind of slows it down then. Yeah.
Chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge.
Okay.
This is edited a really cool way. We have piano in the front.
Apparently, Woojin raps first.
Okay, right. We have really cool ambient noise, kind of like it's like the piano but muffled and backwards. He has such a high-pitched singing voice. This is surprising.
This is IN? This sounds exactly like Han. That sounds like Jisung.
Whoa! I think we changed tempos or I think we changed tempos.
Oh my god. This is like Hollywood Undead.
Did we also modulate?
No, it's Han. This is Han? What?
This is ASMR rapping. Yeah, we modulated. It's like
you missed.
it's just
Okay,
like
that was Han.
I'm trying to keep the tempo right now. See if the two tempos are related in any way. They might be related by triplet. Now it's accelerating.
I'ma look back to the future. In fact, let me examine the
Alright, that's Felix.
I'm crying. Whoa, siren going by. I feel like that's also the highest pitch we've heard Felix rap. Because that was Felix, right? The siren again?
Told your voice is just dethroned? I don't think so.
We're talking at the same time.
No, I've had enough.
Calling out for help on this carousel. Life is like a dead or an open vet. I just wanna tell to see the Dell tree. Empire, campfire, unpile, old fire, set fire.
3 over, down 3 over, da. Now he gets singing. Also, does this have a 4? This 4 might be weirder than Miroh's.
Interesting.
What was that?
It sounds a lot like an American rap cipher. It doesn't really sound like quote unquote a song, or at least a traditional structured K-pop song. It sounds more like an American rap cipher, which if you are unfamiliar, a bunch of rappers taking turns rapping their own verse. I guess what makes this interesting is that even the non-rappers rapped in this song. You know, a lot of the vocalists came in and rapped and honestly kind of gave the rest of the rappers in the group a run for their money. I don't know if there was any rapper that was weak.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think there was any rapper that was weak, and there was no singing in this song, huh?
Well, I mean, towards the end they had the woo, they had like the melodies, and they
No,
had
but,
the
like,
auto tune. Like,
yeah,
there's no
yeah.
like actual melody.
Yeah. There was no like a chorus where they sing,
or even a hook.
Yeah. I guess it's a true cipher then. So why are you freaking out?
Okay, so we start out in one tempo and one specific mood. We have, right, it's the piano with a specific vibe, and we have that loop in. And what they could have done is they could have definitely just looped that for the rest of the song. But no, they fucking didn't.
That'd be fucking boring.
Yes, they changed the tempo, and I think they modulated. I will need to go back and check. So that means they changed keys and changed tempos, similar to one of the songs in the last album that we reacted to, that the name of the song isn't coming to my head right now. But that was between like a rock pop and then like a hip hop rap. This is just constant rap. And then I loved how every single member had different rhythms. Like I said, there is no hook. I have no freaking idea what. I mean, like, we start off with one vibe, then we modulated into another vibe, and we went back to that vibe, and then we went back to the new vibe. I thought the string parts that were super chromatic were great, and the sirens that kept changing kept it fresh, because what I often don't like about American raps is that they choose their samples, and they just flip in, they stay the same. They stay the same the whole entire time.
I completely agree.
Changed, and those sirens, it was like woo, and then it was like woo, 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 and then it was like woo, woo, and it just like,
and it's like traveling from like one ear to the other.
You traveled with this song. This song was an entire experience, and I can't wait to listen to it more times and just hear new things and figure out what the two keys were that it went in between.
I really don't like American rap music. And I really don't like American rap ciphers. Mainly because, even though I lean more towards rappers than I do singers, we were talking about this earlier over dinner. For me, a song has to be interesting on its own before anything else. Like, if I were to break it down like a cake, like layers of a cake, the base foundation, just the instrumental alone, has to be interesting for me to give a shit. And then the vocals and rapping has to be good. And then the lyrics have to be interesting. So it's like this, like, I don't care if the lyrics are good or like interesting, if the song sounds like shit or it's boring or whatever. A lot of rap ciphers, I feel that way about American rap ciphers, where, like you said, they take one beat and then they just like loop it forever. And it's the same thing over and over again. Maybe they'll add in like a little part where it transitions from one rapper to the other, but then it's pretty much the same thing over and over again. It's very repetitive. And this one, it's not necessarily repetitive. They just kept with the same theme throughout. Like,
they switched between two themes and then stayed with one theme and added the sirens.
Yeah, and they kept it interesting where in the middle they brought in like the guitars, like the
electric guitars,
like the heavy like rock guitars, like
strings.
Yeah. Yeah, sounded. I thought it was gonna go like the route of like a Hollywood Undead song because they mix hip hop, rap, and electronica. But this wasn't really K-pop. I would say it's
K-rap.
I would say it was Korean lyrics, but I think this gives a lot of American rap ciphers a run for their money, and I would probably hip hop fans would argue with me on that to the death. But it's why I don't listen to American rap. But I'd say probably my favorite part was Changbin's part. It always is.
Han had some really lit rhythms.
Yeah, Woojin's part with his voice rapping is really interesting. I actually wonder if Woojin should have been a rapper. I have a very interesting journey with Stray Kids. Since their pre-debut, I have been on Woojin's back saying his voice sounds really weird. And I thought his voice sounded really weird in Elevator, and like, what was it? In Gur or Young Wings, I thought his voice sounded weird. Like, I just thought like, it's either not being mixed in well. His voice was too unique that it was standing out. But once they debuted, once District 9 came out, it worked. And ever since then, it's always worked. And there's been no problem. And Woojin is my favorite vocalist in Stray Kids now. But I don't know what was going on before the pre-debut stuff, where I just wasn't vibing with it. It just didn't fit. Listen, I had to put up with so much hate comments for like months and months because people were like, You don't like Woojin? How dare you? Listen, I can't be dishonest. I just don't like it, but now I do. You know, it took like a year. But I feel like it would be really interesting if Woojin, his voice that stands out, if he was a rapper. He could be like the smooth-voiced rapper.
People are saying we missed Changbin's rap part.
I didn't
heard Changbin.
Yeah.
We heard Changbin.
Yeah.
We heard everyone.
People think just because you don't comment on every single part of a song, they think you missed it. It's we're like, no, my attention was like my attention was somewhere else, or like I heard it, but it's like, okay, I heard it. For me, I was more into other stuff, or I was more interested in other stuff. Like she was more interested in like the structure and
the instrumental.
And the instrumental. And you know, for me, this album has been really less about Changbin. It's really been about all the other members stepping up for me personally. Because I have been a Changbin fan from the get-go. But for me, this album is about like, first of all, it was Han and Miroh kind of just kind of killing it. Even in Victory Song, like Felix kind of just like blew it away for me. And here, I would say Woojin's rap stood out to me more than Changbin's rap. And Seongmin's rap too.
I liked the 30-second note show up and like the 16th note tied to the 8th note rhythms that appeared like somewhere in the middle, and then it went into the 3/2 hemiola rhythm. I just liked all the variety of rhythms in this, and yeah, okay, we're gonna move on to Boxer.
오케이. 안녕. 난 어디든 비행할 수 있는 청소년. 그렇다고 비행 청소년은 아냐다 attention. 난 나보다 약한 건 안 건드려. 센 것들만 골라내서 모두.
This album is so energetic. Yeah, those rhythms.
Very big 3 Rockstar Wild vibes.
Okay, we got a chord progression? Yes, okay. You're on tonic for a while.
좀 심했나?
2, 3, 4. Ooh! The bell.
Okay, the EDM in this song is like, it's not modern EDM. Like that violent.
I like the change of the instrumental. We have so much going on. I like the.
Okay, who is this? Before. After Felix, before Changbin, who was that? Han? Okay, I figured. It sounded like Han.
소름 돋냐? Boxer.
Oh, the bass kind of slides up. Oh, that's 4, not 5. Sorry. That was cool. Harmony. Little quick harmony.
Boxer. Boxer.
That dropped on the 3, I think. B3. And yeah, this drop is different with this new scratchy accent in the hey.
들어오면 다 잡아 손에 들어오면 꽉 잡아 눈에 내 머리까지 보인다 독수리처럼 날아올라 싹 다 잡아가
First of all, they sound like they really want this song to be in like a sports video game. I could see this in like a basketball game if it wasn't called Boxer. I think for me, Han stands out in this one. For me, I was saying mid-reaction, I was getting very, especially in the intro, I was getting very WoW 3 Racha vibes. WoW 3 Racha is, have you heard it?
Oh, no.
Okay, it's regarded as...
Maybe?
Do you remember like the first YouTube video you ever made? Cover you ever did?
Yes, and I deleted
It's, yes, exactly. That is what WoW is for 3 Racha. It's like very kind of embarrassing, you know, but it's like very cheesy. So it's people say it's a meme song, right? Or
then
it's
I haven't heard it.
It's their fuckboy song. Yeah, it's like it's very cheesy. It's like them like hitting on ladies. You know, but like it's but then they released it way back when, so then they were even younger, so it's like teenagers doing it. So it's even like, you know what I mean? So it's like very embarrassing. So this reminds me of like the vibe from WoW, because WoW was a very fun song. This is a very fun song. Like they had fun with it. It's not like serious and angry and like they're very, I feel like, usual Stray Kids way. They have a very angry sort of charisma about them always. Like Miroh sort of has that. But this one is like genuinely fun. Like I feel like, especially with the intro, whoever was rapping the intro, and especially Jisung in the middle as well, it felt very hyper and it felt very much like that. Again, this whole album sounds like a very mid-2000s EDM pop inspired type of album. Like it's Minho. Okay, so people are saying Minho. Then it's Minho that was really kind of, I feel like, doing really well, because I feel like he presented the song in a very fun nature. Minho or Ino? Or I know Ino is it was his, I know Ino is his stage name, so we'll go with Ino. But yeah, I liked Ino's part, and I like Jisung's parts. And one thing I do have a problem with is that the album is like almost too consistent. Besides Maze of Memories, I feel like Miroh, Victory Song, and Boxer are like on the same energy. They're all on the same spectrum. And I guess that's not really so much a problem. I guess I don't complain in other Stray Kids songs, because all their other songs are like super dark and they're all the same dark energy, and I don't complain that it's the dark energy. I guess it's just a matter of getting used to that style. I mean, it's a new album series, so I guess it's going to be a huge change and shift anyways. But yeah, what do you think?
Me? Okay, so yes, like you said, I got the same amount of energy as I got from the other songs, with the synthetic drop and the amount of crazy sounds.
Wait, one sec.
Yes.
Which song has more energy? Miroh, Victory Song, or Boxer?
Victory. I still get
Victory Song?
Yeah, just because.
Interesting. I think this is more hype than Victory Song.
Okay.
I think this is more hype than Victory Song.
Because I think it will change for me when I hear it from my phone with more bass. Because, again, we're getting a lot of high end through, I don't know, computer or options of the rapping. So we had, like, a pause in energy once in a while, especially, like, taking out any sounds and then dropping back in.
Yeah, that's why I liked it, yeah.
Why don't I have more to say? I swear I have more to say.
I couldn't get into the drop for Boxer, but I agree it's more hype, says someone in the chat.
Oh.
I agree. I think the drop in Miroh is the most memorable.
Oh, the reason
But
why, I guess I didn't feel
Boxer's
it was
more hype.
because drop songs, they usually just prolong just one single note. And the fact that it moved to 4 or 5, I need to re-listen. Scale degree 4 or 5. Those are my God! Okay. I'm listening to a song.
Mine?
There's a song is on. I'm hearing the beginning of Chronosaurus. I don't know, I'm so used to drop songs just doing one long note instead of just moving up, because it like almost lightens the vibe almost. So that's why I didn't feel like it went as hard as the other ones. Because harmonically it changed. Yeah. I'm gonna re-listen, I'll let you know. But I still, I think, so far, this is my favorite Stray Kids album. I do agree with those who are saying that it's their best so far.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Interesting. Okay. 1 sec.
Just based on personal taste and...
Really?
Yeah, because I'm getting a lot of energy. I know I'm gonna come back to these songs and re-listen and not skip when they pop up. Lately, I've been needing a lot of songs to listen to keep me awake during the day, or if I'm feeling sad, to just hype me up. And I think this will be easily a go-to album for that.
Okay. All right.
The next 2 songs are chill. Yeah, I was wondering when they were gonna bring in the calmer, maybe more ballady vibes. Because, sometimes there needs to be an arc, but if they end this album with heartwarming songs, I like that.
I'm the
how they do
opposite.
it.
I like songs. I like.
Hype at the end.
I would have preferred if the last song on the album was Boxer.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
That's how I like to go out. Like ATEEZ's Treasure Episode 2, the last song is Promise.
Right.
That is one hell of a way to end an album.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into it.
Chronosaurus, make sure, it starts 000. Okay. Clock, tick, king. Minor key, eerie. Let's go.
시작고 달려왔는데 아직
Da, da,
주변은
da, da,
어둡기만
da,
해
da,
시간이 해결해 줄 거라는 말
Okay, speaking of the rhythms. Now melody. Oh, that was crunchy last harmony. You don't hear many harmonies in Stray Kids songs. Right? Oh, I like this so much. Oh, this is so creepy! Because they're emphasizing minor 3. Right? This is not chill! I find this hype. Okay, it's less hype than Boxer. The rhythm is slow, so slow at this part. Da, da. It's at a... We don't get too many subdivisions, so it's kind of like slower.
Watch out, 너는 꺼야 해 Countdown, 이제 어떡해 모래시계 속에 나 갇혀 있는 듯해
The minor synth ripping in the background.
Oh!
Low-key giving me Orville, Chinese Orville vibes. But PD liked the octaves. Da 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 da. The melody almost seems unfinished. I'll talk about it afterwards if I remember. Wow. It's almost broken. It's like you're shouting this and then someone answers. Oh, it's interesting. They bring out the clock even louder than it was before and more in the front of the mix. And everything else is just floating in reverb. Oh, we're getting more rhythmic. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba. Oh, yeah! It's kind of like a canon. Well, no, it's not a canon, but counterpoint, 2 melodies going on. I need to go back and see if that was the original message or if actually they Oh, this is different. We didn't have the drum kit before. I love that view! Because for a few seconds, since it's changing pitches, since it's sliding, it clashes with the rest of the beat. TikTok! Oh, they are talking about clock. Skip. Nah. It ends on a leading tone. Nah. There was a synth going nah. And this is where it should have resolved. Wow!
That was spoopy.
Minor keys, y'all. they love that minor key, the melody. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about before I forget is in the melody during the chorus we have da 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 da, or like da 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 da, and it doesn't quite resolve, and we have like either a little break for instrumental before the melody starts in this range, like that area, and then once in a while we'd have Felix or someone else with a darker lower timbre come in and say like da 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 da, and it's more rhythmic and it feels very disjoint, which I think added to the eeriness of the song, because we had like yelling higher pitched melody, da 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 da, stuff like that. So
That's exactly what I was going to comment on.
Quite therefore this song sounds very fresh, because usually melodies, they really, for choruses, they try to be catchy in the way of having like a little cute hook and then a break, little cute hook, but this was like trying to be like a joined melody, but we interrupted it with other things. So
probably what makes me like this song is so I also talked about this before with Umu yesterday. Even though it's music, I have a very weird visual representation of music. So like if I listen to music, I imagine like the waveforms like in front of in like floating in the air in front of me. And what makes this interesting is like, I don't know, usually like if you have a song, the song like it's one waveform that goes like this, it feels like two different songs kind of like mashed together. And so like one waveform is like all the high parts, especially the singing like you were pointing out earlier, and then the really low parts, especially like when they sing high and then like the instrumental was like, whoa, like it does like that weird warbly effect. Like you said, it adds to the very sinister, sort of eerie, spoopy Halloween feeling. So someone was singing low. Mm-hmm. Someone was singing low first, and then someone came in and then started harmonizing with them at the tail end of their low part, and then the low part drifted off, and then they completely took over. And then I thought that was cool. That was a very smooth transition. Ayan's parts, I've been hearing Ayan throughout the rest of the album as well, but Ayan is now starting to really impress me. That's been my journey with Stray Kids, is trying to figure out
who's the most impressive.
That, but also, I mean, it's Jisung, but trying to get into the vocalists other than Woojin, just because for me, I'm more into rappers. It's very rare for me to be into vocalists. I'm not like Umu, where, I don't know, she's into music in that way, in like the flowy way. I'm very much, how do I describe this?
Visually experiencing through audio.
Yes, I like visually experiencing audio, if that fucking makes sense, which it fucking doesn't. But
sorry.
Yeah, which it fucking does. No, why are you sorry? I'm the one who brought it up. But
okay.
Yeah, so I like voices that stand out, and that tends to be the rappers. And vocalists tend to very much blend in with the instrumental, and they blend in with the song. And the reason why I like Changbin is Changbin, I think, has the most distinct, most jarring voice that stands out.
Yes.
But I think that's... So if I were to describe this song is like the Changbin of Stray Kids B-sides. Mm-hmm. It stands out a lot. Like, it's very, very distinct. And do you like the hype songs more than this, or...
Okay, well, oftentimes my opinion changes after re-listens, but as of right now, it's second to, actually, what was this? Maze of Memories.
Maze of Memories.
Because that one was the rap one that had the modulations, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
See, but that one was very consistent. That song is very consistent throughout. This one is very weird, and like you said, disjointed would be the word. And I like this one more.
Okay.
I like this one more. See, our tastes are very different. I like songs that are like weirder like this. I'm not at Kevin's level, because Kevin likes...
He's weird.
Kevin really likes music that's fucking weird. So I actually wonder how he would feel about Chronosaurus.
I mean, okay, so it depends on like what type of weird we're talking about. If we're talking musically weird, actually Maze of Memories is more complex in the way that it changes keys and tempos and has way more variation rhythmically. Chronosaurus, it feels eerie because of the minor key.
It's the overall vibe.
Yeah,
it's the overall vibe.
You it seems like you like dark, chromatic, maybe eerie, and therefore weird in that way type of stuff. Yeah. So I think Kevin would like Maze of Memories.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, let's check out 19. All right, this one's a lot softer.
Yeah. Halftime. Probably. Yeah, this whole album, I feel like every single song is in a minor key. I like the vocal doubling.
하루가 느리게 갈 때마다 빨리 가라 기도했지만 지금 내 심정은 모두 반대야 지금의 순간이 잠시 멈췄으면 좋겠어 시간 봐야지 여기 있지 말고 딴 데가 하나 둘셋 다시금 back to the 열쇠 그때 되고 싶던 가수가 이제는 됐네 아직도 믿기지 않지만 난 행복해 내 꿈에 많은 운이 함께했기에 만족해 근데 내가 꿈을 꾸기 전부터 기대했던 이 순간이 시정치하고 싶어 준비도
Oh, he just throws in those 16th notes and triplets like they're nothing. Like, he starts with the 8th notes, and I'm like, okay, it's just gonna continue, and then he, like, adds a tiny bit of variation with his rap. Nice violin line. Unless that's a synth. There's actual harmonies with this melody. Cool. Oh, cool. Beat changing to go with Felix's. I like that little piano pickup note. Sorry, grace note. Ta-da! Ta-da! This song is definitely the chillest of the whole album because we've repeated the same instrumentation from the very beginning. I'm relying on the voices to do the changing. The bass part though. Like crescendoing of the piano. Okay. We have an upper octave that's hella edited. Auto-tune. Yeah. Feels like we're about to go faster to the syncopation. Da, 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 da. New guitar part in the left earbud, or left channel. And the guitar part continues. And it's doubled with an octave above.
Oh, that echoing is really cool.
Thinning out the texture.
I really like how at the end, someone is singing one line, and then it echoes, and then someone sings one line, and then it echoes. It's a very sad song. The song itself isn't sad. I feel like the song it's upbeat for a quote unquote Stray Kids sad song then because they have a lot of their sad songs which are like a lot slower. Like, how do I phrase this? It's more about melancholy and nostalgia, and it's bittersweet. It's not sad, it's bittersweet. There's a sort of like, it leaves you with a little bittersweet taste in your mouth. The song is about the passage of time and everything's sort of fading away really quickly, and before you know it, you're older, but you're not used to being older. You still feel like you're a kid, and you just want to go back
relatable.
To being younger when times were simpler. And I feel like that's a very relatable message. I certainly agree with that. And if you talk to like a handful of adults, like people in their 40s, 50s, they're like, I still feel like I'm 20, because like I feel like you mentally develop as a person at a certain age, and from that point, rarely do people get older in mind. They just get older in body.
Experience.
Right. So a lot of people like there's a lot of older people who are like, I still feel like I'm 21, even though I'm like 40 years old, you know? So I'm afraid of getting to that age, you know? But yeah, what did you think?
So I could tell so when I'm in my analytical brain, this one is definitely the easiest of listening. We did have some instrumental changes in between sections and some rhythmic changes, but it just felt like one dynamic the whole entire time, as if nothing had changed. And it was the very auto-tuned, sometimes not auto-tuned voices.
But there was auto-tuned singing in the background, like, oh!
Yeah, that type of stuff. So I felt like I didn't have as much to listen to, since we didn't have like the fast pace ups and downs and key changes and rhythmic, fluctuations like we did in the other songs. But that is to support the lyrics. And after one listening, I'm just concentrating on like, okay, how many things can I talk about right now? But then after the song, I was like, yes, they probably wrote it this way to mainly highlight the lyrics and create the mood. And I think the main thing that did make it feel bittersweet were the background vocals, the almost wailing, like those type of really, really echoey,
exactly,
and reverby sounds. And
like literally at the end, they literally like echo themselves. Like they say something and then it echoes and then kind of trails off, and then they say something and then it kind of trails off.
And I think it's smart the way that they ended it. I'm not sure exactly what the ending lyrics were, but if you're talking about how everything is kind of like you're passing it, and wait, what is English? It's just fades, your younger self is fading, right? Well, at the very end, they just kept thinning and thinning the texture until the very last note kind of faded into nothing. And they actually had a decrescendo because they kept making the texture sparser and sparser. And so I think that supports what you said the lyrics were.
Yeah, like it doesn't end on a happy note. I think in terms of, especially with their overall style and the members, I think it's the most definitely progressive for Stray Kids. It's the most different and most advancing. They're not still doing the same thing. It's like the I Am series. It was a series, right? So it kind of kept with a very similar tone throughout the 3 albums. But this feels like a big departure while still maintaining their sound.
Yeah. So this is my favorite album of Stray Kids so far. And my favorite was the one that had the modulations.
Memories of Maze.
Yeah.
I agree that this is their most progressive album as artists. As artists, it's probably their best album so far. I personally do not think that will hold up. I think this album, as progressive as it is, I think at the heart of it, the songs, the party songs, there's something missing for me about the party songs, where I have like this feeling like a future Stray Kids album could easily beat this. And in terms of like production, yes, I think it's the most interesting. But in terms of like favorite, no, this is not my favorite Stray Kids album. People were like, oh, this is my favorite Stray Kids album. No. I think I Am Who is still my favorite Stray Kids album. My Pace, Voices, and the rest of the album. I'm more of a basic bitch. And I'm more into it sounds very more K-pop in I Am Who, I feel like. And this one is a departure from I Am Who. But I don't know. I don't think this is going to be, quote unquote, their best album for long. I feel like it's...
Keep going up.
It's key 1, So... theoretically, there are going to be more keys. And I think the other keys are going to be better.
Okay.
I think that's sort of the feeling I get. It doesn't feel complete to me. The entire album feels... I'm not satisfied. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that it feels very much like a Act 1 type of situation. Especially because it was all largely party music. I'm like all hyped up now, but I feel like I haven't had a proper climax
Mm-hmm.
and a proper resolution.
Mm-hmm.
Like 19, it doesn't feel like a good resolution for the album for me because it feels more like a personal song,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of doesn't match the narrative mental path that the rest of the songs have set up. It
Mm-hmm.
feels like very jarring and very different. It almost feels like, I don't know, like it's a special song. It's too intimate to be like a part of this project. So I don't know. It almost feels like, I feel like Stray Kids is amping up for a studio album,
Mm-hmm.
and this is part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how Icon last year, they released 3 EPs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they just combined all those 3 EPs
Yeah.
into one studio album. That's what it feels like.
Okay.
I feel like they're going to do a studio album, but the whole studio album is not going to be new music.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be all these Stray Kids EPs combined.
Yeah, so
of
you
the
can
Clay,
just
yeah,
the journey.
yeah, of the Clay, of the Clay one. So
Yeah, it leaves
Yeah.
us kind of on a cliffhanger. It is
Yeah.
like, it's like you're watching Sherlock, and there's 3 episodes per season, right?
yeah,
Yeah, we just watched, episode 1, and there's going to be episode 2 and episode 3. And hopefully episode 3 won't leave us on another cliffhanger.
yeah,
But
yeah. They are releasing a studio album this year. They said it.
Ooh.
My mind. Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us for this listening party. I know it was a little bit chaotic and hectic, but I'm traveling right now. But I know people have been waiting for this. So, yeah, thank you, Umu from Reacttothek, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.